Today I'm going to talk about just how to move around this landscape that I built in Gravity Sketch VR. After giving it a little bit of thought, instead of recreating video tutorials on hand animation and controls and then locomotion, I'm just going to reference some really great videos to watch before you watch this. I've sifted through a lot of videos to try to find ones that are easy to watch and easy to follow along with. If you go to the Spatial canvas on YouTube, they have a Design Massive Worlds in VR with Gravity Sketch, and I just watched this fully through, just without being in the headset first, and gathered some tips and tricks. And then I went in headset and I made my own little landscape for VR interactions in Unity. This person called Fistful of Shrimp on YouTube, Fistful of Shrimp, is a phenomenal subscribe. Just go to Unity VR Basics 2023. So before watching this, be sure to do the VR hand input and the continuous movement video by Fistful of Shrimp. After you've done that and you have hands and you know how to move forward and backwards and turn side to side with your right hand. So say you've got your Gravity Sketch landscape in here. I want to make this trail here that I've created. I want that to be the only teleportation area in my world. So we're assuming here that you've got the XR Origin, XR Interaction Manager, and hopefully you've watched Fistful of Shrimp tutorials and you have a left controller. Maybe you've got the direct interactor and the ray interactor on it. Maybe you don't have the ray interactor yet, but that's okay. You may or may not have the left ray stabilizer, but that's okay either way. And then you've got your right controller with the same. I just made it a empty object called XR movement, but I really don't need that. I just need this locomotion system here. And so for my locomotion system, in order to move around, right? In VR, you have the snap turn provider, which I prefer over the continuous turn provider because I am one of the people that instantly gets motion sickness in VR. So I just have to do the snap turn. And I have turn amount set to 45 degree turns. Enable turn left, right, I have checked, and enable turnaround I disabled, but I believe that enable turnaround is when you pull your joystick backwards, it'll just turn you 180 degrees. Well, I don't want that because it confuses me, so I just turn that off. Okay, so that's for my right hand, and I'm right hand snap turn here. I'm using my right hand as a reference, and I have this locomotion snap turn here. And then in continuous movement, I'm using my left hand. So down here, I have left hand as a reference and left hand move here. My move speed is 4, but I think I want to increase that to 10. And you can play around with that. You can enable fly, enable gravity, and check your locomotion system. Okay, so this is all just a review, hopefully. Next, we want to make our trail into a teleportation area. My landscape is just everything here that you see. So if what I did was I right-clicked prefab and I unpacked it. And you can go down here, and whenever I click here, it just takes me directly to the object inside that I want to turn into a teleportation area. So I actually already added the teleportation area on this one to make sure that it worked properly. But I'm gonna do it to this trail now. So I'm just gonna grab my trail, and it's got a mesh renderer and a mesh filter on it. But I need a mesh collider, so just go to add component and type on, click on mesh collider, and you don't have to do anything else here for that to work. So if you don't have that, then you're gonna like fall through the ground. So make sure you have that. And then next, you're just gonna add component, and we're gonna do teleportation area, and add that script. You really don't have to do anything else here. It should work all just fine. Let's just go and make sure that we don't need to maybe do it to more of our trails. So yeah, there's another place on my trail that I do want to teleport onto. So like just everywhere that I need to teleport, I'll just a teleportation area and add the mesh collider. That is everything that I want to be teleporting to. So just watch this game view and I'll go over a couple of things. Okay, so here we are, and I can move around this space, and my world is very large at the moment. Let's go test out this part of the trail over here. Ooh, it works. And I'm just gonna traverse the trail to make sure that I can actually walk on all of it. Okay, and this is gonna be my starting point. So the problem now is that when I go off the trail, it does this. Whee! So in order to fix that, let's add some invisible planes. This is how I'm going to do it anyway. There might be a better way, so let me know if you know of one. Here around the perimeter of my trail, I'll just sort of go in and create 3D planes, and I'm calling it boundary. Oh, and like if I'm zoomed out and my mouse is like on the screen and I've selected something, if I press F, then it focuses that on that object. Place the plane like at the edge of my trail. It's got a mesh collider on it. Create an invisible. Oh, look, you can make it look like a window if you put like a material that has an alpha value of like half or whatever. I'm just gonna create a new material in my materials folder and copy and paste and just call it clear. And then over here, I'll just make it white and alpha all the way down to 0. So it's like totally invisible. And apply it to the plane. And then I'm going to change it to universal render pipeline unlit. And now that bad boy is totally invisible. Let's just go ahead and copy and paste and move this one over. Doesn't really matter if it's a little too long. Okay, so I've applied these boundaries to the side of the trail, so I'm just going to test it out. So let's be sure not to fall off the trail. Okay, so right around here, I shouldn't be able to like fall off. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so I'm running into the grass right here. See? Boom. Boom. But I'm not able to move anywhere off of the trail. Okay, so yeah, I got caught on the other side. So there's like a little spot where you can fall through. So I'll just like be really tedious in trying to close all those gaps. But it works as a boundary. Whenever you're like creating things in VR and Gravity Sketch, you don't have to make everything perfect. Just consider the parts in which like your person or like the interactor is going to actually see it. And then you sort of like create the illusion of things in the background. Okay, so I just want to show you real quick because I finished my boundary around the trail that I'm building. I had to like make the boundary visible so I knew what I was doing, and just overlapped these walls and then created a pathway. So it didn't take very long, but I was trying to be like fairly precise. I made the cave, this thing, into with a mesh collider on it, and over here you can see this pathway around the trail. And so after doing that, I just popped my headset on. The walls, I just got onto them as much as I can, and I'm just sort of going around the perimeter to see if there were any fall through points, any points where I was able to actually like get past the boundary, or if I fell through, see like that there's a gap right there. I'm gonna have to fix that later. But and I fell through a couple of times, so I ended up fixing that. But yeah, I just went through. Oh, and right here, there's like a little glitch where I actually like am able to crawl up the wall like that and go over the wall. So I have to fix that. But so far everything works as intended pretty much, and just like testing that I can walk, on the pathway. And as I keep building, I'll probably change things, but yeah, so lastly, just making the walls invisible and then retesting the boundary. So I'll just go over to this material that I made, click into it, and turn the alpha value all the way down. So now it's invisible again, and just retest. Here are my hands. Here's my floating hot air balloon, and if I want to come over here, I can't go too far, so that's good. And then if I go, so you sort of, I'll have to like figure out what the user experience is like by trial and error. Yeah, the goal is just to keep them on the trail and not be confusing. And now I just have to build in some more details and interactions.